to call the town hall meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, September 6, 2022, and it's now 6:30 p.m. This town hall has been set up to discuss proposal number 17, 2022, amending Title I, Article 2, Chapter 2, Section 4 of the Municipal Code of the City of Lawrence, redistricting Common Council district boundaries pursuant to Indiana Code 36-4-6-3. So this town hall is an opportunity for our constituents to ask questions, address any issues or concerns that you have regarding the redistricting. I have asked our council attorney, Chris Wheeler, to give an overview of sort of the steps that we have taken so far in the redistricting process.
Thank you, Madam President. So just briefly to recap where we are, state law requires 2 years after every census, so in 2022 for the 2020 census, by December 31st of 2022 for every city and town in the state to redistrict their maps for voting purposes in the coming 10 years of general elections. So these voting maps will be in place until 2032. Often you may see various arguments about what they're for, but really redistricting is about, at the end of the day, making sure we get as close to one person, one vote as we can in this country so that every district is roughly equally represented in the city. And therefore, there is a requirement that we not have a population deviation in the district exceeding 10%, and that is as between the highest and the lowest population in each proposed district. There are also several factors that we should take into account related to a lot of court decisions that have happened in the last few years. Those include no incumbents being paired in the same district. In other words, no two-seated councilors that are running against each other in the future. Two, we have districts that are contiguous and reasonably compact. Again, we're not trying to get perfect, but we're trying to get reasonably compact and contiguous, and that we split as few existing precincts in Marion County as possible because it keeps there from being additional complexities due to the fact that people in Lawrence vote both for Lawrence elected officials as well as those in the city of Indianapolis. This proposed redistricting map splits only one precinct, that's Lawrence 50, to achieve compliance with those equal population requirements. I did not prepare this map. This map was prepared under a contract for services from attorney Bill Groth with the Blink law firm. I'm not sure it's Blink or V-Link. And the council approved a contract for him in February of this year, I believe, unanimously. And Mr. Groth went forward with the requirements of law to evaluate the populations down to the census tract level, which is a very, very deep dive into census data. The purpose of that being to meet the equal population requirements as well as the other requirements that I just discussed. He completed that task and provided the council this map that is under consideration in July. And the council heard and had an opportunity during its committee of the whole to question Mr. Groth and talk about any concerns they might have. And So this has been pending before the Committee of the Whole and is still in committee, I believe, right now. So it's still an opportunity for committee discussion. I will note one concern that I heard from at least a couple of council members about not having every street in Lawrence on these maps. I think that's a function of a couple of things, and I do have a suggestion for an improvement for your consideration. One is, I think of a map of this size, it would be very difficult to have every single street listed and have the map actually be readable. But also, I also think some of this is a function of the fact that you'll see in Marion County, they don't have every street, and at the state level for your state, senators and your members of the Indiana House, their precinct boundaries don't have every street on them. I think that really that's a reflection of us moving more to an electronic-based society where what people tend to do now is they can put their address into a website and it pops up all of the districts that they are voting in, as well as the who their initial representatives are. So I think it goes to the fact that most people aren't using paper maps anymore. But that said, I think it is a valid concern that we at least have the boundaries of each of the districts, those streets that create the boundaries listed clearly on the map. And so if it's the council's desire, I'm more than happy to have somebody in my office work on that to allow people, you know, you would hope somebody has a general sense of, okay, here's Pendleton Pike and I live north of the Pike in between Franklin and Post Road. Okay, I'm in this district. So if that's something you would like to see happen to make them more usable, I think that would be a very good idea, and I'm happy to help do that because, you know, we're not passing this tonight, right? This is still, how can we handle questions, right, deal with any concerns, and make this as useful as we can.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that overview. I'm going to open it up now to any of our constituents who would like to come forward, make comment. You can certainly do that. Your time is limited to 3 minutes, so please be mindful of that, and I'll make sure that I keep you on track as well. Do we have anyone who is here to make comment? And I did want to point out, and I'm sure it's obvious, but I'll point it out anyway, both of the maps are here on the easels. You feel free at any point to look at those maps. So first I want to open it up to any of our constituents here who would like to make comment. I'll give you a couple more seconds. And then I will ask my peers, the council, if there's anyone that wants to make brief comment. It is not my intention for us to debate this here tonight because this is still in committee as a whole and we'll have opportunity to discuss it, but I did want to give the opportunity to any counselors who want to make comment. Wow, this is a quiet crowd. Okay.
I voiced my suggestion, if you will. I called the attorney. He didn't call me back, but I guess he contacted Ms. Wheeler. The biggest questions that I kept getting when I sent this out to some people is they couldn't identify which street was what. And so it was hard for me to discuss the map because they were saying, okay, now what is this street? So that would be an extreme help if I could get something that at least identifies major corridors, Sunnyside, Post, Franklin. So.
Yeah, that's great. I think that will be beneficial for everyone. Thank you. Any other counselors?
Madam President,
Yes.
do we have a map that has the precincts on it? You know,
I mean, Marion County has a separate map that has all the precincts on it. The resolution has a list of every precinct that's in the district, each district. Is that the question?
Yeah, and you can get it online as well.
so, okay,
Yep.
got that.
Okay, well, I'm not going to belabor this any longer, so Thank you so much for your time. We will roll to our next meeting, which will be the Finance Committee meeting. That will begin at 6:00 p.m. sharp. Counselors will come out to address any questions one-on-one if you like. Thank you so much. The town hall is adjourned.